macarons. French macarons are the perfect dessert that most of us would enjoy, where it is crispy on the outside and chewy on the inside. Set aside the egg whites for 30 minutes at room temperature before starting off the process to get fluffy meringue. Moving on to the dry ingredients, I'm taking icing sugar or powdered sugar, 125 grams, popping it in a food processor. Almond powder, 90 grams. Make sure you grind the dry ingredient to a fine powder for a smooth top. Now I'm going to sift the ground flour. Just break the clumps out. Do not add clumps to fine flour, as you won't get smooth macarons. Moving on to the wet ingredients, I'm going to separate 2 egg whites. I find it easier to separate the egg yolks with my hand. Separating the egg yolks. I'm taking 1 more egg because I need 90 grams of egg white. Now I've scaled out 90 grams of egg whites. Transfer it to a larger bowl because we're going to whisk it now. Add in a pinch of salt to egg white. Whisk it till the point you get the frothiness, and then I'll tell you what to do next. Now you can see that the egg whites are frothy. So I'm taking 70 grams granulated sugar and add them gradually. Do not add them all at once. A spoon at a time, because it will deflate all the air in the meringue. I'm whisking it at a high speed. Once all sugar is added, keep beating it until you get stiff peaks. Now I've just beat the egg whites with the granulated sugar, and you can see the stiff peaks not falling over. You can see that. It stands up against the gravity. And You could also tip the bowl over and see that it doesn't fall over. So this is the right consistency. You can see the peaks here as well. It took about 8 to 10 minutes for me to whisk it all. Now it's time to add the food coloring. I'm adding the gel food coloring, red. Added a few drops of it, and let's see how the color comes up. You can see the color. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Now you gotta stop it here, do not overbeat it. Now we shall see what to do next. Now I'm taking the dry ingredient, add a third of the dry ingredient to meringue. And I'm gonna mix it up. Mix it up really well so that the mixture incorporates well. And fold it. Fold it to get the air out. This process of knocking out air and folding is called macaronage. Scrape off the sides. Keep folding the batter. This thins down the batter. And you should be able to make a figure 8 with the mixture. Look at that. It should not be too flowy. Let's see if you're able to make a figure 8 without breaking. Can you see that? Take a parchment paper and make 4 dots on the tray to secure the parchment paper. It's well secure now. Pipe in the batter at 90 degrees. Now I have piped in all the mixture and I'm going to tap it to get the air bubbles out of any. Do not skip this step. And let it rest for half hour to an hour so it forms a thin layer. I let it sit for about 40-45 minutes and now you can see if it is ready to be put inside the oven. Look, I'm brushing my fingers on the top. It has formed a thin layer and so it's not sticky. Now it's good to go into the oven. I'm going to bake it at 150 degrees Celsius for 17 minutes and please do not open the door in the middle. I took it out exactly after 17 minutes, and now you can take it off and cool it for about 15-30 minutes. You can see it just lifts off the parchment paper. Letting it cool for about 15 to 30 minutes. Now I'm going to show how to make a simple buttercream for filling. I'm taking 90 grams unsalted butter, a room temperature butter. I'm going to whisk it. Whisk it until it has doubled in volume and paler in color. Now you can see that the butter is fluffier, and I have taken 150 grams icing sugars. I'm sifting it to make sure that there aren't any clumps. Let the mixture get incorporated. Adding in a quarter spoon of vanilla extract. Adding 2 spoons of heavy cream. And whisk it. You can see how fluffy it is. Now the filling is ready. Pop it in the piping bag. Now I've got the buttercream ready in the piping bag with a rounded tip. And let me do the filling in the cookie. And make sure you pipe it in smaller than the actual cookie, else it might squeeze out. Now the macarons are ready. Pop it in the fridge for 24 hours to get the best flavor and texture. I'm tempted to eat it right away, but worth waiting. So if you like this recipe, please make sure you subscribe and leave your feedback in the comments below. Thanks!